I am so glad you've decided to join me today. Have you ever looked around at the people who seem to have made it? The ones with the thriving careers, the deep relationships, and that unmistakable air of confidence, and wondered what their secret is? You might think they were born with a higher IQ, or perhaps they just got lucky. But the truth is much more empowering than that. The difference between those who achieve great things and those who just get by isn't usually found in their talent or their background. It is found in the size of their thinking. Today, we are diving into a philosophy that has the power to completely reshape how you see yourself and your future. The main purpose of this journey is to show you that success is not a matter of luck or circumstances. It is a result of a specific mental attitude. We are going to explore the idea that your mind is a thought factory, and the quality of the products you create depends entirely on which foreman you put in charge. We will be looking at 2 or 3 high-level ideas that serve as the foundation for everything else. First, we'll talk about the absolute necessity of belief. Not just a casual wish, but a deep-seated conviction that you can and will succeed. We'll also touch on the importance of your mental environment and how the people and ideas you surround yourself with act as either fuel for your growth or a weight that holds you back. This classic approach by David J. Schwartz suggests that when you change the scale of your thoughts, you automatically change the scale of your results. It's about learning to see possibilities where others see obstacles and understanding that your capacity to achieve is directly tied to your belief in that capacity. We aren't just talking about positive thinking in a vague sense. We are talking about a practical, step-by-step organization of your mental habits. If you've ever felt like you were meant for more, but weren't sure how to bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be, you are in the right place. We're going to break down how to stop playing small and start moving toward the life you've always imagined. It's a process of expanding your vision and refusing to let small thoughts dictate your big future. Before we get into the heart of the summary, if you find this helpful and want to see more content like this, please take a moment to like this, share it with someone who could use the inspiration, and subscribe to stay updated. Main summary: the principles of high-magnitude thinking, the power of belief, and the how-to mindset. The first and most fundamental concept we must understand is that belief is the thermostat of your accomplishments. In the book, the author explains that belief isn't just a hope or a wish that things will go well. Instead, belief is a mental command. When you truly believe you can do something, whether it's landing a major promotion, starting a business, or improving a relationship, your mind goes to work finding ways to make it happen. This is an incredibly deep and important distinction. The mind is a powerful tool, but it requires a clear direction. If you approach a task with a "let's see if this works" attitude, you are essentially giving your mind permission to find reasons why it won't work. However, when you shift to a firm, "I can do this" belief, your creative power is switched on. The how to do it always comes to the person who believes they can do it. It is the difference between looking for a way out and looking for a way through. Think of it like this. Your mind is divided into 2 foremen. One is Mr. Victory, and the other is Mr. Defeat. Mr. Victory is in charge of manufacturing positive thoughts. He specializes in why you can succeed, why you are capable, and how you will overcome hurdles. Mr. Defeat, on the other hand, is an expert at failure. He produces reasons why you'll fail, why you aren't good enough, and why the other guy has more advantages. Both foremen are very obedient. Whichever one you give more work to will become stronger and take up more space in your thought factory. If you spend your day focusing on reasons why a goal is impossible, Mr. Defeat takes over. If you focus on your potential, Mr. Victory runs the show. Belief is important because it acts as a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you believe you are a first-class person, you act like one, and people respond to you as one. If you think you are second-rate, you will carry yourself that way, and the world will treat you accordingly. It's not about arrogance. It's about a quiet, steady confidence in your own ability to grow and solve problems. You must realize that you are better than you think you are. Most people suffer from a thinking small disease where they undervalue their own worth and overvalue the luck or talent of others. To think big, you must first believe that you are big enough to handle the challenges that come with success. Now we move to the next point, which addresses the specific habits that often stop us from developing this powerful belief system. Curing the disease of excusitis. Once we understand the power of belief, we have to look at what actively destroys it. The author identifies a very specific failure disease called excusitis. This is the habit of making excuses to explain away why we haven't achieved what we wanted. The more successful a person is, the fewer excuses they tend to make. Conversely, the person who has gone nowhere always has a suitcase full of reasons why they haven't started or why they failed. Excusitis comes in 4 main forms, and each one is a trap for the mind. The first is health excusitis. This is when people use their physical condition, anything from a headache to a chronic illness, as a reason not to try. While health issues are real, the book points out that it's better to wear out than to rust out. Successful people focus on what they can do with the health they have, rather than using their body as a reason for inaction. The second form is intelligence excusitis. This is the belief that I don't have the brains, or I'm not smart enough. The author argues that your attitude toward your intelligence is far more important than how much intelligence you actually have. Knowledge is power only when it is used constructively. Many people with high IQs fail because they use their intelligence to prove why things won't work, while people with average intelligence but a can-do attitude achieve greatness. It's not about how much you know. It's about how you use what you know. The third form is age excusitis. We've all heard it. I'm too old to start now. Or, I'm too young to be taken seriously. This excuse is a way of closing the door before you even walk through it. Age is only a barrier if you allow it to be. If you are 40 and feel too old to start a new career, you are ignoring the fact that you likely have 25 or 30 productive years left. That's more than half of your adult life. Age excusitis is cured by looking at how much time you have left, rather than how much has passed. Finally, there's luck excusitis. People who fail often blame bad luck, while they attribute other success to good luck. But success is almost always the result of preparation, planning, and positive thinking. Luck usually follows the person who is looking for opportunities and taking action. If you wait for a lucky break, you are putting your future in the hands of chance. If you plan for success, you are putting your future in your own hands. Curing excusitis is vital because excuses are like a mental drug. The more you use them, the more you rely on them, and eventually, you start to believe them yourself. To think big, you have to perform surgery on your thought process and remove the need to explain away your lack of progress. Now we move to the next point, where we explore how to turn this new mental clarity into actual, unshakable confidence. Building confidence and destroying fear. Fear is the greatest enemy of success. It prevents people from taking risks, speaking up, and seizing opportunities. The author is very clear about one thing. Fear is real, and it is a mental infection. However, the good news is that confidence is not something you are born with. It is something you build through specific actions. The most important lesson here is that action cures fear. When you are afraid of something, the natural instinct is to hesitate, wait, and think about it more. But hesitation only feeds the fear. It gives the fear time to grow and become more intimidating in your mind. If you are afraid to make a phone call, the only way to kill that fear is to pick up the phone and dial. Once the action is taken, the fear evaporates. Another key to building confidence is the practice of depositing only positive thoughts in your memory bank. Your mind is like a bank. Every day you make deposits of thoughts. When you go to take an action, you withdraw from those memories. If you have spent your time dwelling on past failures, embarrassments, and reasons why you aren't good enough, those are the only thoughts you have to withdraw. This leads to a lack of confidence. To build confidence, you must consciously choose to remember your successes, the times you were brave, and the compliments you've received. You must refuse to withdraw the negative, bad debt of the past. The author also provides several practical, confidence-building exercises that anyone can do. One is the habit of being a front-seater. In any meeting or gathering, notice how the back seats fill up first. People sit in the back because they don't want to be noticed. They are afraid. By consciously choosing to sit in the front, you train your mind to be comfortable with being seen and being a leader. Another exercise is making eye contact. Looking someone in the eye says, "I am honest, I am confident, and I believe in what I am saying." Avoiding eye contact, on the other hand, signals fear or a lack of self-worth. Finally, speak up. Each time you fail to speak in a group setting, you feel a little more inferior. Each time you do speak, you build a little more confidence. It doesn't have to be a grand speech. Just adding a comment or asking a question is enough to reinforce the habit of confidence. These small, physical actions change your internal psychology. By acting confident, you eventually become confident. Now we move to the next point, focusing on how to expand your vocabulary and your vision to truly think big, learning to see what can be, not just what is. Thinking big is, at its core, a matter of vision. Most people look at things and see them exactly as they are. A big thinker, however, looks at things and sees what they can become. This applies to people, projects, and even yourself. The author uses a great example of a real estate agent. An average agent shows a rundown house and sees a shack that is hard to sell. A big thinking agent looks at that same shack and sees a beautiful family home with a new coat of paint and a landscaped yard. They don't just sell the shack, they sell the potential of the shack. This ability to add value to things through your vision is a hallmark of success. To think big, you must also use big language. The words we use have a profound impact on how we feel and how others perceive us. Small thinkers use words that are restrictive, negative, and small. They say things like, "It's no use. We've already tried that," or "That's impossible." Big thinkers use words that are expansive and positive. They use victory words. Instead of saying a problem is a disaster, they call it a challenge or an opportunity to learn. The words you use to describe your situation actually help create your situation. If you tell everyone you are feeling tired and lousy, you will actually feel more tired and lousy. If you tell yourself and others you feel great, your mind will move to match that description. Another part of this vision is seeing the potential in other people. A big thinker treats others as if they are already the person they have the potential to become. When you give someone a fine reputation to live up to, they often rise to the occasion. If you only see people's flaws, you will struggle to lead or inspire them. Success is a team sport, and you need the support of others to reach big goals. By seeing the best in people, you win their cooperation and help them grow at the same time. Finally, you must apply this vision to yourself. You have to stop focusing on your current limitations and start focusing on your potential. Ask yourself, what would a big thinker do in this situation? When you face a setback, a big thinker doesn't get discouraged. They ask, how can I make this work in my favor? This shift in perspective allows you to turn every situation into a stepping stone toward your ultimate goal. Creative thinking is often misunderstood as something reserved for artists, writers, or scientists. However, in the context of thinking big, creative thinking simply means finding new and better ways to do things. Whether you are a parent looking for a better way to manage a household, an executive trying to streamline a business process, or a student looking for a better way to study, you are engaging in creative thinking. The first step to thinking creatively is to believe that it can be done. When you believe something is impossible, your mind goes to work proving why it is impossible. But when you believe, truly believe, that a solution exists, your mind starts to look for it. To be a creative thinker, you must eliminate the word impossible from your vocabulary. You must treat every "it can't be done" as a challenge to find a way that it can. Another barrier to creative thinking is traditional thinking. This is the habit of doing things a certain way simply because that's how it's always been done. Traditional thinking is a freeze on the mind. It prevents progress and keeps us stuck in old patterns that may no longer be effective. To combat this, you must be a possibility thinker. Experiment with new ideas. Try a different route to work. Read a book outside of your usual interests. Break your routine. to keep your mind flexible and open to new suggestions. The author also emphasizes the importance of asking and listening. Creative thinkers are great listeners. They know that they don't learn anything while they are talking, but they can learn a great deal by listening to the ideas and experiences of others. Big people monopolize the listening. Small people monopolize the talking. By asking insightful questions and truly listening to the answers, you gather the raw material for creative solutions. You become a mental sponge, soaking up information that you can later combine into big, innovative ideas. Creative thinking is also about capacity. The more you do, the more you can do. Capacity is a state of mind. If you tell yourself you are too busy to take on a new project, you will be. But if you believe you can find a way to fit it in, your mind will find the efficiency needed to make it happen. Business success often goes to the person who is always looking for a better way to serve more people in less time. Now we move to the next point, which deals with how the image you have of yourself dictates the way the world responds to you. You are what you think you are. A person's worth is often determined by their own self-evaluation. If you think you are unimportant, the world will likely agree with you. If you believe you are a person of value and consequence, the world will treat you as such. This isn't about being stuck up or arrogant. It's about having a healthy sense of self-respect. One of the most practical ways to improve your self-image is to pay attention to your physical appearance. While we shouldn't judge a book by its cover, the reality is that the way we dress affects the way we feel. When you look your best, you tend to think and act your best. Dressing first class doesn't necessarily mean spending a fortune on clothes. It means choosing quality over quantity and ensuring that your appearance reflects the person you want to be. When you are well-groomed and dressed appropriately for your goals, you send a signal to your own mind and to others that you are a person of importance. Beyond appearance, you must also believe in the importance of your work. No matter what your job title is, you must see your work as vital and significant. If you see yourself as just a clerk, you will do just clerk work. But if you see yourself as a vital part of a larger organization that provides a necessary service, you will perform with more energy and excellence. Your attitude toward your job determines how your boss and colleagues see you. If you show that you believe your work is important, others will start to believe it too. The author suggests a powerful tool called the self-help pep talk. Every day, you should spend a few minutes reminding yourself of your strengths, your successes, and your potential. Just like a coach gives a team a pep talk before a big game, you need to give yourself a mental boost. Remind yourself that you are a first-class person and that you have what it takes to succeed. This practice keeps your self-image strong and prevents the small thinking thoughts of others from creeping in. By raising your own standards for how you see yourself, you naturally raise the standards for how you live your life. You begin to expect more from yourself, and as a result, you achieve more. You realize that you are the captain of your own ship, and the direction you take is entirely up to you. Now we move to the next point, where we look at how the world around you shapes your thoughts and how you can take control of that influence. Managing your mental environment. Your mind is a reflection of your environment. Just as the body reflects the food we eat, the mind reflects the mental food we consume. The people you spend time with, the books you read, the news you watch, and the conversations you have all shape the quality of your thinking. If you want to think big, you must go first class in your mental environment. Most people are surrounded by negators, people who are quick to tell you why an idea won't work or why you shouldn't try something new. These people often act like thought poisoners. They spread seeds of doubt and fear that can slowly erode your confidence. To protect your mind, you must be very careful about who you allow into your inner circle. Seek out people who are successful, optimistic, and forward-thinking. Surround yourself with people who challenge you to grow and who support your big dreams. The author points out that there are 3 types of people: those who have surrendered completely, those who have surrendered partially, and those who never surrender. The first group has given up on their dreams and lives in a state of quiet resignation. The second group has achieved some success, but has decided that this is good enough and has stopped growing. The third group, the big thinkers, is always looking for the next level of growth. They are the ones who realize that life is an ongoing journey of improvement. To think big You must align yourself with this third group. Managing your environment also means avoiding the trap of gossip. Gossip is small talk about people, and it is a hallmark of small thinking. Big thinkers talk about ideas, goals, and achievements. When you participate in gossip, you are essentially feeding your mind junk food. It might feel satisfying in the moment, but it leaves you feeling empty and diminishes your stature in the eyes of others. Instead of talking about people, talk to them about things that matter. Finally, going first class means seeking out quality in all areas of your life. It means choosing a mentor who is truly successful, rather than taking advice from someone who is just as stuck as you are. It means being willing to pay a little more for a high-quality experience or tool that will help you move forward. By choosing the best for yourself, you reinforce the belief that you deserve the best. This high-standard environment creates a psychological momentum that carries you toward your goals. Now we move to the next point, focusing on the specific attitudes that act as magnets for success and cooperation, making your attitudes your allies. The world is a mirror. It reflects back the attitude you present to it. The author argues that our attitudes are more important than our technical skills or our IQ. If you have the right attitude, people will want to help you, follow you, and see you succeed. There are 3 specific attitudes that you must cultivate to think big: enthusiasm, a sense of importance, and a service-first mentality. Enthusiasm is the secret sauce of success. When you are enthusiastic about your work, your goals, and your life, that energy is contagious. It draws people to you and makes them want to be a part of what you are doing. But how do you stay enthusiastic when things are tough? The author says the secret is to dig into it. The more you learn about a subject, the more interested you become, and the more enthusiasm you feel. If you find a task boring, it's probably because you don't know enough about it. By learning more, you build the spark of enthusiasm that can turn a mundane job into a rewarding career. The second attitude is making others feel important. Every human being has a deep-seated need to feel noticed and valued. When you go out of your way to make someone else feel important, they will do almost anything for you. This isn't about flattery. It's about genuine appreciation. Simple acts like remembering a name, giving a sincere compliment, or asking for someone's opinion can make a world of difference. When you help others feel big, you become a bigger person in their eyes. You create a win-win situation where everyone feels empowered. The third attitude is the service-first mentality. Most people approach life with a "what's in it for me?" attitude. They want the reward before they've done the work. But the big thinker knows that the reward is a direct result of the service provided. If you focus on providing more value, more help, and more service than is expected of you, the money and recognition will take care of themselves. It is the law of cause and effect. By putting service first, you align yourself with the principles of growth and prosperity. Your attitudes are choices. You can choose to be grumpy, or you can choose to be enthusiastic. You can choose to be selfish, or you can choose to be of service. By consciously choosing the attitudes of a big thinker, you transform your internal world and, eventually, your external reality. Now we move to the next point, which discusses the importance of how you relate to others on your path to greatness. Thinking right toward people. Success is not a solo journey. No matter how smart or talented you are, you cannot achieve great things without the support and cooperation of other people. Therefore, thinking right toward people is a vital skill for any big thinker. This involves developing a likable personality and taking the initiative in building friendships. The author introduces the idea of the likability index. Successful people are generally liked by those around them. This doesn't mean they are people pleasers who have no backbone. It means they are genuinely interested in others and make an effort to be pleasant to be around. They practice the habit of being easy to live with. They don't have a prickly personality that makes people walk on eggshells. They are approachable, kind, and supportive. One of the most important rules for thinking right toward people is to take the initiative in making friends. Don't wait for others to introduce themselves to you. Be the one to extend the first hand. Introduce yourself, ask questions, and show a sincere interest in the other person's life. Most people are shy and are waiting for someone else to make the first move. By being the one who reaches out, you establish yourself as a leader and a person of confidence. Another key is to be constructive in your thoughts about others. It is easy to find faults in people, but a big thinker looks for their strengths. When you focus on someone's positive qualities, you tend to bring those qualities to the surface. On the other hand, if you focus on their flaws, you will likely encounter those flaws more often. By choosing to see the best in people, you build a network of loyal supporters who are invested in your success. Finally, you must learn the art of listening more and talking less. We've touched on this before, but it is especially important in relationships. When you listen to someone, you are giving them the ultimate gift of respect. You are saying, "What you have to say is important to me." This builds trust and rapport faster than any amount of clever talking ever could. By thinking right toward people, you create a foundation of goodwill that will support you as you climb higher. Now we move to the next point, which is perhaps the most critical for turning these big thoughts into reality: the habit of action. Everything we have discussed so far, the belief, the vision, the confidence, is only as good as the action that follows it. You can have the biggest dreams in the world, but if you don't act on them, they remain nothing more than fantasies. The author makes a sharp distinction between two types of people: the activationists and the passivationists. Activationists are people who have developed the habit of doing things. They don't wait for the perfect time because they know that the perfect time never comes. They understand that conditions are never ideal. If you wait until all the lights are green before you start your commute, you'll never leave your driveway. The big thinker starts now, with what they have, and trusts that they can handle the hurdles as they appear. On the other hand, passivationists are the wait-and-see people. They delay, they postpone, and they think it over until the opportunity has passed. This delay isn't just a loss of time, it's a loss of confidence. As we noted earlier, action cures fear, but hesitation feeds it. When you delay an action, you give your mind more time to come up with reasons why you might fail. By acting immediately, by making that activation move, you kill the hesitation before it can paralyze you. A key part of the habit of action is the do-it-now mindset. Whether it's a small task like answering an email or a large task like starting a new project, the rule is the same. Don't wait for the spirit to move you. Successful people don't wait for inspiration. They create it through action. They know that once they start moving, the momentum will carry them through. You can actually mechanicalize your mind to be an action-oriented machine. If you have a task you're dreading, just start the physical movements required to do it. If you need to write, sit down and start typing. The mechanical action often triggers the mental flow. Being an activationist also means taking the initiative. It means being the one who volunteers for the extra responsibility, the one who suggests the new idea, and the one who goes the extra mile. In every organization, the people who move to the top are the ones who don't need to be told what to do. They see what needs to be done, and they do it. They have doing it is instead of wait-and-see-ism. Now we move to the next point, which explores how to maintain this momentum even when things don't go according to plan. How to turn defeat into victory. In any pursuit of a big goal, you are going to encounter setbacks. It is a statistical certainty. However, the difference between a big thinker and a small thinker is how they perceive and react to those setbacks. To a small thinker, a failure is a sign that they should stop, a proof that they weren't good enough, or a reason to blame bad luck. To a big thinker, defeat is simply a lesson in disguise. The author emphasizes that you must become your own constructive critic. When something goes wrong, the natural reaction is to get angry, get discouraged, or find someone else to blame. As we reach the end of this journey through the principles of thinking big, it's important to take a moment and reflect on what we've uncovered. We began by understanding that success isn't a result of innate genius or simple luck, but rather the size of your belief. We explored how to cure excusitis, the importance of building confidence through action, and the necessity of managing your mental environment. We looked at how to use goals as a roadmap and how to adopt the attitudes of a leader. Now, the question is, what will you do with this knowledge? The most important takeaway from David J. Schwartz is that your life is a direct reflection of your thoughts. If you choose to think small, you will live a small life, restricted by fear and limited by excuses. But if you choose to think big, You open the door to a world of possibilities that you might have previously thought were out of reach. This isn't a one-time decision. It is a daily, even hourly, practice of choosing Mr. Victory over Mr. Defeat in the factory of your mind. Remember that action is the ultimate cure. If you feel overwhelmed by a big goal, don't let that feeling paralyze you. Take one small, first-class action today. Make that call, start that plan, or simply choose to look at a challenge as an opportunity rather than a disaster. Confidence is built in the doing, and every step forward reinforces the belief that you are capable of achieving great things. You must also remain vigilant about your environment. Protect your mind from the thought poison of negative people and small-minded gossip. Seek out the first-class influences that lift you up and challenge you to be better. When you change your mental diet, you change your mental output. You deserve to live a life that is as big as your potential, but you are the only one who can make that a reality. As you move forward, keep the big picture in mind. Use your goals to keep you steady during the inevitable setbacks, and treat every defeat as a valuable lesson that prepares you for the next victory. Think right toward people, lead with empathy and vision, and never stop looking for ways to add value to the world around you. The magic of thinking big is that it works. It has worked for millions of people who were once in the exact same position you are in right now. The only difference between them and those who stayed behind was the decision to expand their vision and act with confidence. You have the tools, you have the mindset, and now you have the momentum. Go out there and start thinking as big as you truly are. Your future is waiting, and it is going to be magnificent.